Hi guys, I'm back. It is Wednesday, April 8th, and it's about almost 7:30 in the evening. It's been a little bit since I've been on. I don't even know what to say except sorry. I had meant to put out more videos than I have been putting out because we're all in quarantine and everybody could use a little more stitchy chat and some happy talk, and I just could not make that happen for a lot of reasons, and but they just don't matter, and I don't want this conversation in my video to be all concentrated on what's going on in the world, but I don't know how you can do a video these days without talking about it a little bit. I've said this many times before, I'm a nurse manager and I am managing a team of nurses and nurse schedulers at a time when things are kind of tough. Information changes pretty readily, pretty rapidly, I should say, as we learn more and more about the virus. So I'm hoping that all of you are staying well, that you're adhering to the guidelines of wearing a mask when you're out, good hand hygiene, not touching your face, staying 6 feet apart, social distancing. As a healthcare professional, I implore everybody to just take the social distancing thing seriously. Let's help save lives, not contribute to ending some. And that's my soapbox on that. I'm going to be really honest. I'm tired. I am brain tired. There's a lot of things going on. It's not just my job. My husband, Matt, works at a local... See, I just touched my face. My hands are washed. But he works at a local company. He's an engineer. They have a manufacturing facility, and Matt has been getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, which is way earlier than we normally get up, to go in and help screen people before they come onto the facility. That is their effort to maybe reduce the possibility. Sorry, I had to check my mic there for a second. I should have checked it before I came on. Reduce the possibility. They've had a COVID positive at the plant and an exposure to a whole area. That area closed down for a week to be sanitized, and then they've stepped up their efforts to screen people before they come in. My desk is a mess. If you could see this, you would all flip. My stuff is never this much of a mess. But anyway, I digress. So he's been going in 4:30 in the morning. And I've not been sleeping well, which is not unusual for me. I have insomnia anyway, and when stress enters in for whatever reason, that insomnia goes into high gear. And with him getting up at, I think he's getting up at 4. I think it's 4. It's very difficult for me to go back to sleep, which is a good thing because it gives me more stitchy time, and since I'm on a mission to finish whips right now so I can kit more things for Maynia, that's good. I started a knitting project too, which I said I've been saying I was going to do for a long time. I did start it. It's not much to show, and I forgot to bring it down here. So we'll save that for next time. Maybe I'll get more done. I've been kitting like a mad woman from Maynia. I have a fairly large order in at 123 Stitch, and another one in at Quarter Shop. I've been purchasing some things from Etsy sellers to help support small business, so I'm waiting for those to come in. And the biggest purchase I made this week, the most important one to me, is I purchased the X-Stitch app for my phone. So I'm going to open it up here. I actually I have 10 whips, and right now I have 15 projects kitted, which I've shown you guys what I've kitted so far. Well, not all of them. The rest of them I'm going to show you today. But I do have 15 kitted projects, which gives me a total of 25. If you've been following along, my Maynia plans are to have 31, whether they're whips or starts. And I'm fighting the urge to start all the things, because I think for me, like 14 years ago, I was smoking. I quit smoking 14 years ago in February. I think 14 or 15 years. I've lost track, but it's been a long time. And I think dealing with stress has gone, sometimes desserts, I'm not gonna lie, but I think the crafting and sewing is my way of dealing with stress, because I'm managing my team of nurses, a good part of it from home, and I'm in a lot of virtual meetings, and I stitch through those meetings, which helps keep me focused on what's being said in the meeting, but also is helping to kind of dispel some of that stress that's building up during the meetings. So I very much have been using stitching as my stress relief. I talked about it a little bit in my Instagram post today. And to that vein, even if you're financially strapped because of furloughs, layoffs, because businesses are closed, there is plenty of free stitching to be had with the hashtag Be Well and Stitch. Now, I had a question on my Instagram today about an easy way to print off all of the free patterns that are coming across for the Be Well and Stitch movement. It is my understanding that Keepsake's website has a place where all those free cross stitches are. So try going to Keepsake's website. I believe, and I have not looked myself, I've had a couple other people look and say they're there. They have all the free patterns kind of coordinated in one area. And honestly, just stitch from stash. I mean, a lot of those are small, so you could use a very small piece of fabric that you have left over, which I have lots of small pieces, and pull the floss that you have, put some colors together, do a floss toss, and stitch it with whatever you have. It's kind of odd because normally we would run out to our LNS and just pick the threads that we want and all of that, and see how many times you touch your face? Now, I wash my hands and I'm not worried in my own home. I'm also not going out. My husband's been going out. I go here and work because the bottom line is I could be in the field seeing patients, and I don't want to put myself at jeopardy before that. Anyway, sorry, side note, segue. But I believe Keepsakes has them all there. So stitch. There's plenty out there to stitch if you don't have stuff at home to stitch. I have tons of stuff to stitch. And I'm fighting the urge to start something new, something fresh, something new. But I really am trying to finish. I did have one finish this week. I don't have a lot of haul, but I have one finished. This was a Hello Spring. It's by Stitching with the Housewives. It's available on their Etsy shop. It is a chicken in a Ray Dunn looking cup. I actually, if you remember, I have to figure out where my files all are. I started this when I was on vacation in Houston. Sorry, I got yawn. Sorry. I'll try to edit that out. I started in Houston. I had to start with the DMC because that's what I had available to me out there. And I bought a piece of 14 count black Aida. I finished it the other day. So this is cute. It's small. It should have been finished a long time ago. I don't know why I didn't pick it up and just finish it. But that is finished. I have another one that I'm working on, and I bet I forgot. Oh, no, it's here. Okay, good. That if you've been following me on Instagram, I've been in fever pace trying to get this one done. And this should not have taken me as long as it takes. I don't know what the deal is. I feel like when I stitch on this at night, I'm frogging just as much as I stitch, which it's frustrating, right? This is Henpecked by Plum Street Samplers. I'm stitching it on 28 count tea dyed Monaco, and here's where I am. So I'm almost there. I've got a few little spots of color to fill in, and then I'm done. I don't know if I'll finish it tonight. I don't know if I'll stitch on it tonight, because I have to tell you, the last 2 nights I've stitched on it, I ended up frogging more than I stitched, which counterintuitive. I may pick out something else to stitch on tonight, or I may work on my knitting project. Alright, what else do I have? What else have I been working? I've been doing a ton of sewing. A ton. My block of the month is wrapping up at Fat Quarter Shop in the next few months, so I've been working on the finishing kit for that to get that all ready. The Bloomtopia that's hanging back here, I put a bunch of those blocks together in the layout if they went together. What else did I do sewing wise? Oh, I've been working on Bonnie Hunter's doing let me see if I can take a picture of it while I'm sitting here. She's doing a mystery quilt. You guys know, if you followed along with me, she does a mystery quilt every year starting around Halloween, and it goes through January. She decided to do let me see, bear with me, let me see if I can get a good picture so I can show you guys. She's doing a Unity mystery quilt. It started last Monday, the Monday before fabric requirements came out. This Monday, or 2 Mondays ago, the fabric requirements came out. Last Monday, part 1 came out, which is what I'm going to show you on my phone right now. 2 days ago, part 2 came out. I started cutting that, and I sewed a sample, which didn't work out to right size, so I have to resew. Let me see if I can show you this in a good way. That's a really bad picture. Hold on. I have to get this thing centered, I think. Bear with me. Hold, please. Okay, let's see if that worked. And let's see if this will show you. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. See it? It's aquas, navies, reds, and neutrals. And that is the center block. It's called a medallion style quilt, so we're going to be working in the round. The second round has a ton of flying geese in it, which is not my favorite unit to make. I mean, they're nice when they work out nice, and I just struggle with them from time to time. But that's what I worked on a lot this weekend. And I stitched a little bit, but honestly I did more sewing. And I quilted the quilt that's on my long arm back here. I actually only have probably, I don't know, 2.5 feet left to quilt on that. And so I worked on that. And I spent some time outside because we actually did have some nice weather. And we all need that, right? I also dyed, well, let me go back. What should I show you first? The things that I've kitted, or the new patterns I got to kit? Because of course I'm not kitting out of my pattern stash, right? I'm kitting all the new stuff. And I'll pick up some of the old stuff too. I ran out of project bags. You're going to see Ziplocs now because I haven't had time to make more project bags. I had gotten this pattern. These ones don't have names. Sweet Land of Liberty by Rovaris. And it comes with the charms, which is kind of cool. Where are they? Right there. I'm doing this on a scrap piece of 14 count with Chelt's Venetian stone. And I'm missing one color, but I have enough to call it kitted for Maynia. And I have my list of colors that I need to order right here, as if I haven't ordered enough already. But these are the colors on this fabric, and I think that will look very nice. So that's Rovaris, Land of Liberty. Let me get this back in the Ziploc. I almost feel like last year for Maynia, everything was in Ziplocs. This year, well, I have 10 projects upstairs that are, according to my X-Stitch app, I have 25 project bags because I have, well, not 25, 22, which is 22 more than I had last year. And I think all of them I have made. So we got Rivaris. I can stick that in my crate down here now of kitted things. These I have to put in the bag, but I had got, oh, I meant to grab the book. Hold on just a second. Back. I had gotten, oh, I grabbed it from some other things, but the Celebrate book by Teresa Kogut. This was a Nashville release. I like these two ones on the cover, although there's a lot more patterns in there than just those two. But these two I decided I want to do first. So, because I don't want to kit up the whole book, I made like one color copy of this that I'm going to cut apart and put in each bag. And then the copy of each of the charts. So, I'm going to show you this one first, the Red House. It's Highway to You, spelled E-W-E. I am going to stitch it on 32 count Platinum Lugana, and it's not very big. Do you know what I mean? It's not a big piece. I thought it was going to be bigger. It's not. And I'm going to do it, I did a conversion, not a conversion. I chose my own colors. Let's put it that way. It's not really a conversion. It calls for all Weeks Dye Works. I don't have a ton of Weeks Dye Works, and I have a lot of Classic Color Works. So I really wanted to put my own kind of conversion together. So I was looking at the photo and kind of picking threads. So let me see if I can hold this up. These are the threads that I picked. I have a green in here. And I think that'll look very nice. Let me see if I can slide this in. There we go. So this is the picture. The one with the red house is what we're looking at. And that's what I've chosen. I think it's going to be kind of cool. And that has to go into a bag. The second one, I forget the name of this one, is the one with the green trees. I keep thinking it's a Christmas one, but it's actually not. It's a garden. Set this aside and see if I can. And I think this one, no, this one I'm not missing any colors. I combined two colors. I'm only going to use one. This is called Teeny Garden 1823. This is also not very big. You can see it's going to be stitched on the same 32 count Platinum Lugana. I really can't wait to stitch on this stuff. I think it's going to be nice. And these are the colors that I've chosen. I should hold them up with the fabric. And these are the called for DMCs. I just left out. There was another, let me see if I can get these spread out a little bit. There was another gold that was lighter than this one. And I'm just going to use, it wasn't enough. I guess when I stitch it, if I figure out I need the lighter gold, I'll get it. But as of right now, I don't think so. And it's got two greens. It's got this darker green, the avocado greens, and I like them. And so that one's all ready to go. And that's going to get tossed in a plastic bag, because that's what I have. And I think those are the ones that I've kitted this week. So that's good. Maynia is not that far away, so I really kind of have to get moving. I have to have, well, if I finish henpecked, it means I need 7 more starts to kit. And I'm not lacking for patterns, that's for sure. So, but I think I'll definitely be able to finish henpecked before Maynia. And I will definitely be able to finish the next Snow Village probably before Maynia. However, I have the next Snow Village already here, so that will plug that hole. But I have acquired more patterns. I don't have a ton of haul here, but the ones I have, I really wanted. And in preparation for the ones I'm going to show you, I spent some time dyeing some fabric. So I had a white piece of 18 count Aida, and I dyed it. This was aqua, and it was over dyed with indigo. So I have quite a bit of modeling on there. Each side is a little different. That's probably true color right there. And the reason that I dyed, and I'm still debating, I might tea dye this as well to knock the color down just a little bit, was because Barbara Anna's got another free chart. I showed you light last time. This one is key, and I think this one was actually out first. But how stinking cute is that? And I like her on that blue fabric. And I think that my fabric is a little darker than that, but I think it might work. And I think it might work even better if I tea dye this and knock it back a little bit. So that's the plan there. And then just when I said I was not going to buy any more patterns, that I had a ton, who do I watch last night in Flosstube but Lindy Stitches? And she has one pattern that I really I love her work anyway. It's just not my decorating style, but it certainly is my artistic style. But this one I saw when we did Nashville Review, and I wanted it and just kind of put it aside, because truly this would be a piece that I'm doing just for myself. Not that I don't do others for myself, but this is truly for me. This is not something that's potential giveaway for a gift or anything like that. And so I got Mary Mary Needleworker, and I was so anxious to get it, I bought the PDF version so I could print it last night. I just love her. I will be doing the day version because I like that color scheme better. Who knows, I may stitch it in the night version as well. She gives you the option to do day or night. Day garden and a night garden. The night garden, see that? That's the coloring of the night garden. Let's see if that focuses a little bit. It's a little different. Done on a darker fabric for sure. But I don't know. I like the day garden, I think, a little bit better. So that's definitely the one that's going to go in Maynia's for the start. I'm trying, it's between this and Huckleberry Farm. So, by Blue Flower. These are the two that I really, really, really want to start like now. I don't know why. Do you guys know why that is? I have two charts that I really want to start now. But I'm not. I'm not. The only way that I will start something before Maynia is if I finish way more than I think I'm going to finish. And I gotta stop watching Flosstubes. I like watching them. I think it's much better than watching the news, because we know I don't do that. It's much better than watching some of the 100,000 reruns that we watch at times. But my gosh. Every time we're on there, like I watched Farm Girl today. It's her Flosstube from a week ago. And I've always said I'm not really a sampler girl. Well, all of a sudden, I'm liking samplers. And I don't even know if I showed you this one. Yeah, I did. I showed you one last time. The Quaker sampler that I printed out for Maynia. It's crazy. I'm liking the samplers. And I don't want 31 large projects started. But I think I'm going to end up being that person. I don't know why. I don't know. I almost think it's an illness. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, so if you guys have watched a couple of my videos, you know I dye my own fabric a lot. I had a piece, a tea dyed piece of 28 count Monaco that I kind of over dyed, splash over dyed with some black and gray because I kind of wanted a certain look to it. Um, the look I wanted did not happen, number one. The look that came out, I wasn't real happy with it. And I showed it here on a floss tube because I said, well, unless I start stitching Halloween, that's not happening. Do you know what I mean? So it was just weird. I didn't like it. I probably would not stitch on it because I don't like the fabric. So when I was dyeing this piece, of course I had a bunch of dye. I am going to tea dye this and knock it down. I keep saying it now because now I see it on camera and I'm like, yeah, that's way too bright for me. I took the dye. So for this one, I dyed this aqua, and then I added indigo to the aqua dye and kind of splashed it on here and let it sit for a little bit, and that's how I got that. So I took that combination of dyes and decided to pour it over that piece of fabric that I did not like because I wasn't going to stitch on it the way it was. And so this was either going to make it something that I was willing to stitch on, or it was going to make it so I dyed it black. Because I really just didn't like it. I wasn't going to stitch on it, and I want to stitch the things. And shipping's not as fast as it used to be right now. It's not as easy to get stuff as it used to be. It's not as, you just have to be more patient. So I really want to be able to use some of the stuff I have while I'm waiting for stuff to come in that I've ordered. So anyway, I took that dye and I dumped it over that crappy dye job. And this is how it resulted. And I actually like that a lot. There's a number of things that I think I could stitch on that. And it would totally look fine. Let me show you the other side. So it's got some tans, some blues. Every time, once in a while, you pick up more of an aqua tone in it. I'm sorry, I did not iron it. And I will actually stitch on this. I'm not sure what yet. I had brought out Silver Creek Samplers Christmas list because I'm going to change the colors on that, and that might go on here. I don't know. Something's going to go on here for Maynia. Mark my words. I will figure it out. Something will go on there. And the last thing I have to show you, I feel like I'm talking a million miles an hour. I'm sorry if I am. I'm going to be honest with you. I had debated not doing this again tonight. But it gets to the point where I enjoy watching all the floss tubers out there. I enjoy going through Instagram and seeing all the needlework and the sewing and the quilting and all those things I love to do. And I just feel like the more of us that can pump some of that positive energy into lives right now, the better things will be for everybody. I truly believe that. I am a hermit by nature, but this is testing my isolation skills. It really, really is. And my husband will tell you that I'm a hermit by nature. He is the social butterfly. I like to just hunker down and stay home, but this is kind of nuts, you know. All right. The other thing that came in was my floss fix from Pet Quarter Shop. And that came today. Happy Mail today. It's called Wild Plum this time. These are the colors. We have amethyst. Well, let me show them to you. This is amethyst. And these, I have to tell you, I mean, the variegation in Classic Colorworks is impressive sometimes, and then it's less impressive other times. And not less impressive in a bad way. Just less variegation, which is fine. I don't care. These ones have some, and I don't know if they're going to show on camera. This is Fleur de Lilac. See if you can get a better idea of the color. So this is Amethyst. This is Fleur de Lilac next to it. This is Blooming Crocus, which is beautiful. Look at that. I am not a pink purple girl, but these certainly are pretty. Alright, this is, maybe I should hold them over this bag. This is Boysenberry Jam, which is cute. This one, I think this is my favorite of the whole group. This is called Pickled Beets. And can you see that variegation in there? Let me tip it in the light. Look at all of that. How pretty is that? I need to find something to stitch with a purple dress, a large purple dress. Maybe I'll make the needleworker a purple dress. But isn't that just the prettiest? Look at all those blues and purples in there. My granddaughter would call that unicorn something. And this one is Pansy Purple. So cute. Kind of a bluey purple. And I twisted these up like that just to make them pretty to show you guys, huh? They twist them all together in the package, which is also very pretty. But I like the Floss Fix from Fat Quarter Shop. I've been happy with it. I have colors growing between what I purchase and what I get on Floss Fix, and I definitely can kit up things pretty easily. Like, I sat down here and kitted up these 2 Teresa Kogets this afternoon, after I was done working. I come down, I needed some kind of fun, busy work, so kitting things up is fun. Getting excited about starting all the things. And I don't know, I'm still going to fight trying not to start something. I still may start something, I think, before Maynia. I think, you know, and I had thought about, Lindy Stitches talked about Stitch Maynia, which I think what I got out of it was each week she's going to concentrate on one piece to get maximum progress, and then she's going to have one new start every weekend of the month of May, which gave her 4 starts, or is it 5? I don't know how many weekends are in May. Hold on, I will look. See if I can find the calendar. There we go. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5. So there'll be 5 new starts for the month of May, and then working on whips. So I could actually start a bunch of stuff doing that Stitch Maynia, and then have 5 new starts for the month of May. And I like that idea. If I had 21 whips, that's exactly what I would do. But I don't. I have 10. And one of them is the Bloomtopia Cross Stitch to Fat Quarter Shop, which releases every 2 weeks, so I can't work on that until it releases again. One is Christmas Tree, Jack Frost Tree Farm, which is going to take me, that's many parts. I think it's 7 parts. That's a long-term project that's been going since last year. And I have Snow Village, which is also released in parts, and I've been pretty much keeping up with that as it comes out. So, and then I have my oldest whip, which is a full coverage piece. Sorry, yawning again. Is a full coverage piece that I started probably 15 or more years ago. So, I mean, if I wanted to start new things, I could start new things and then just do Stitch Maynia for Maynia, because I would do my Maynia a little early and start new things all the time. that's not out of the realm of possibility. You guys know I go back and forth all the time. I think what I have decided to do, last year, Maynia, I did an upload every night to YouTube with what I was starting. Um, I'm going to do a weekly recap this time. And there's a surprise coming. So as soon as I get one of my orders, see a surprise, because there are items in there that are going to go on Maynia, and I think they will surprise you what I've chosen to add to my Maynia this year. So stay tuned. You'll see. I think I probably will stick to my original plan of working on my whips, because I have cardinal points up there that's beautiful, and I love working on that. So once I get a couple finished, I will just work on cardinal points until Maynia, and maybe get some decent progress on that. Or Jack Frost Tree Farm. I don't mind working on any of those. Some of them are easier for me than others, especially at night in my house, because my lighting is not super fantastic, and I have not invested in a good stitch light to fix. Well, I'd like to get one that stands on the floor that kind of curves around where you are. That way I can move it wherever I'm sitting in the room. But I have not done that yet. So stitching at night, especially being tired, is a little bit problematic at times. I don't know. We'll see if I can stitch tonight or not. It's a long day when you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I mean, when I worked on the floor of the hospital, I would get up at 4:30, and I had to be at work by 6. And I did that just fine. I'm older. I don't sleep well to begin with, and lately don't sleep well at all. So I either need to get better at going back to sleep after he leaves, or just get better about being up at 4 o'clock in the morning and functioning for the whole rest of the day. But my days have been kind of busy anyway, so it wasn't until this afternoon when I started to get really tired. But that's all I have, guys. I guess 37 minutes is good. I have a lot of haul coming in. I don't know that it'll come in this week or not. I don't think it'll come in this week. I think it's more likely to come in next week. I will try to do more frequent videos as I have things to talk about. I can't think of it. I would have anything to talk about unless I got my hauls in. So, we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll do a stitch with me. Maybe that's the answer for that. I'll do a stitch with me. That way I'm stitching and you guys can stitch with me. Maybe hubby and I will do a live on Flosstube. That's an idea too. I don't even know at the beginning of this video if I even introduced myself. So if you've hung out this far with me and you've tolerated my ramblings, I'm Amy. I'm from Little Farm Quilts, and thank you for joining me today. I hope that you're all doing well. Take care of yourselves. Check up on your neighbors. Practice social distancing. Stay home. If you need something, reach out. And I will see you soon.